Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince, and on this channel I do video essays, movie reviews, podcasts and occasionally short films. And recently I've been exploring Malayalam cinema. You can check out all my reviews here. Recently I watched Lucifer and Iyobinte Pusthakam, and with both the films I had a very similar issue, which was the lack of depth, the lack of consequences of the characters' actions. And in this video I want to tell you why it is so important for good storytelling. So if you find value in this video, do hit that like button, because when you do that, YouTube promotes this video and more people can watch it. Also consider subscribing and hit that bell icon to get notification whenever a new video drops. Thank you. So to understand this, first I'll use some relatable examples from our own lives, that why we do things that we do. Remember in school days, we used to have different types of tests: unit test, class test, surprise test, quarterly examinations, final examinations, and our preparation depended on the stakes of those exams. If it's just a class test just for the sake of it, just an exercise by the teacher, we may not give 100%. But if it's a final examination, if the marks will be added to the final result, if we have to get a mark sheet corrected by our parents, we would give 100%. Because the stakes are so high, our motivation will also be on that level. In the office, if your boss gives you a task, you have to do it by the deadline. You cannot say sorry, I couldn't do it. Because if you do that, there'll be consequences. You may lose your job. There may be a salary cut. But if the boss says, it's okay, if you don't do the task, that's alright, enjoy, then there'll be no consequences. Then what does it matter? Don't do it, earn money without doing anything. But that doesn't happen in real life. So that's why if there are consequences, the stakes will be high, our motivation will be high, and that would be seen in our actions. Similarly, the characters in our movies, their actions need to match the motivation and the stakes of that situation. Because when it doesn't match, things don't work out. And it doesn't matter what genre the film is, the value and the importance of the things happening in the film will go down. Because if the hero can do whatever he wants without the consequences, there's no conflict, there's no tension, and hence there's no depth. And it becomes boring, it becomes mundane. There'll be spoilers for Lucifer and Iyobinte Pusthakam. You have been warned. In Lucifer, Mohanlal's character is so powerful, is so resourceful, that he can do anything and even get away with it, as we saw in the film. And at the end there's a happy ending. Everything works out. Everything is in his control. So then what's the point? In the beginning, the film sets up politics as such a big thing, but by the end, everything is controlled by just one guy. There is no depth to this world of politics. Again, there is no tension, no conflict, no depth. And what's the fun in that? In Iyobinte Pusthakam, you can check out my review here, I talked about the lack of character motivation, that the actions of the characters in this film didn't match their motivation. Thus the stakes suffer, there's no conflict, no tension, no depth, and as audience you lose interest. Now everything I said is not limited to just these two films. You can apply it to various films. Fast and Furious films, monster films, superhero films. There's so much destruction, so much loss of human life. And when there's no consequences of these things, it's just boring. Not interesting at all. And that's why a film like Civil War, which talks about the consequences of the actions of the superheroes, the accountability they need to have, brings that conflict within the team, between the characters. The tension rises, the Avengers break up. And that's why it's a good film in MCU. And that's why every time a character makes a choice or a decision in a film, it should have consequences. It should have an impact. It should change the world around that character. It should be an irreversible act, because that will create conflict, raise stakes and tension. And that becomes something interesting to watch. Otherwise, it's just boring. So guys, that was the video. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up button, share this video, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, check out the videos, and if you like them too, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Stay home, stay safe.